What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex League, and this is the 2024 NFL Mock Draft 1.0. My mock draft, my first version of this, and it's great timing with the combine coming up this weekend, and I'm excited for this. I'm actually going to the event on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm getting my first 1.0 mock draft out. I'm doing my top 10 tonight for you guys. And, it's that time of year where everything's heating up and we're going to be talking drafts. So, um, let's get into this thing. I mean, it's a great time of year for me as well because I follow the Bears closely, and the Bears have two picks in the top 10. The number one overall pick, and they pick at number nine as well. So, a lot of intrigue there for Bears fans about what they're going to do with the number one pick. Are they going to keep it and draft Caleb Williams, or are they going to trade it and keep Justin Fields? And there's a lot of, it's a very polarizing topic. Um, Not only Bears fans, but anyone in the NFL that follows the league has an opinion on what the Bears should do here. And so this is what I think will happen. I think Bears GM Ryan Poles will trade Justin Fields. I believe that he will trade him to the Atlanta Falcons. Uh, that seems to make a lot of sense to me, and it seems to be the best fit for Justin Fields. To put him on a team with Bijan Robinson and Drake London and Kyle Pitts and Tyler Algier, just a loaded offense. And the Falcons were a pretty good team last year. They were, in my opinion, a quarterback away. If they could have got better performance out of Desmond Ritter and Taylor Henneke, and at least like more consistent, performance, better ball protection, stuff like that, more clutch play, the Falcons could have won a few more games and won that division. It wasn't a super competitive NFC South. So you put Justin Fields on the Falcons, and I see no reason why they can't win the division next year and at least get into the playoffs. And I would love to see that. That would be the best team around Justin Fields, just like that. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Fields' inconsistency and some of the struggles he's had in Chicago with the Bears. But I'm always quick to point out that Luke Getsy, first of all, had no business being an offensive play caller. He was terrible. And a lot of people, at least some Bears fans, try to justify it and say he wasn't that bad. Be real. Justin Fields had nothing to work with as far as the offensive play caller is a huge. If you don't have a good offensive play caller, not only, you know, the right play calls, but situationally, and everything is built on top of each other. One play call leads to the next, and if you have inconsistency and issues from the play caller and from the scheme, you're gonna be handicapped and have a much harder time being successful. And I think so. Luke Getsy was the first problem, and then secondly, the O line was never that great around Fields. I mean, you can look at analytics and PFF grades, and you can look at different things like that and say, oh well, the O line wasn't graded that bad. The O line wasn't as bad as people say. I'm much more of an eye test guy. I actually watch the games. I watch the film, and Justin Fields was often running for his life, and not only that, having to create special and magic out of chicken salad out of chicken shit consistently. How many times did we see the biggest plays from the Bears offense were Fields breaking multiple tackles in the backfield and then gaining 15, 20 yards, picking up huge plays. Um, on top of that, before the Bears got DJ Moore, we were working with what? Darnell Mooney as our wide receiver one. He was thrown to what? Chase Claypool was traded for, which was a terrible trade. Um, Throwing to Velus Jones and Equinemius St. Brown and Dante Pettis. I mean, let's be real. Those are not good options. Those are not, you know, come on. That's one of the worst receiving rooms in the entire league in 2022. And then you go back to 2021 with Matt Nagy and a bad O line and a a washed Allen Robinson. And so it just I don't think that Fields had a good supporting cast around him. The best supporting cast he had was in 2023. And that's when we saw, you know, the best out of him. And also I believe that Luke Getsy and the Bears tried to almost take the running threat out of his hands. They tried to force him to be a pocket passer, and they had him overthinking and trying to do too much, early in the season and not be himself, right? What's the most dangerous threat that Justin Fields has? What is he best at? It's using his legs when a play breaks down. And a lot of people say, well, you can't be successful like that in the NFL. Look at how much success Lamar Jackson has had. Look at how much success Josh Allen. Look at what Patrick Mahomes does when he takes off with his legs. Um, there's a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL that use their legs to be a major threat. Kyler Murray, guys like that. And so you don't want to take that away from a guy. And I felt like the Bears were doing that and had Fields in his own head. So, what I'm trying to say here is that the Bears situation was never ideal for Justin Fields. And I sound like a broken record because I said the same thing about Jay Cutler. I said the same thing about Mitch Trubisky. I said the same thing about, you know, name the quarterback throughout Bears history. They don't know how to develop the position and they don't know how to put them in the best position to be successful. And it's the same thing with Justin Fields. And so, for whatever reason, the Bears don't know how to develop the quarterback position. And I think that if Justin Fields does get traded to the Falcons, that's a great fit for him, and it's a great opportunity for him in 2024 to show what he is capable of and to potentially lead the Falcons into the playoffs, which, would be a lot of fun to watch. So all that being said, what do I think that means? I think if the Bears do trade Justin Fields, we all agree that that means they're taking Caleb Williams, number one overall out of USC. And Caleb Williams, let's be clear, he is special. He's got incredible arm talent. And on top of that, he's pretty damn athletic too. Like he's got, the he's not a statue back there. He can throw from any arm angle. He doesn't need to be uh set. He doesn't need to be balanced. He doesn't need a great platform. He can flick his wrist, and he's got tremendous accuracy on the throws. He throws a spiral. He's got a great arm. He can send the ball deep and put it accurately downfield. I can see why Caleb Williams is the number one pick in this draft. All right, I get that. And so it is a tough decision for the Bears here and Ryan Poles on what you're going to do, Fields or Caleb Williams. I believe that the Bears will trade Fields, maybe this weekend, but soon. And I do believe the Bears will take Caleb Williams, number one overall, and try to develop him and make him the franchise quarterback. My concern there is that the Bears fundamentally don't know how to develop the quarterback position. So, you know, Caleb Williams is going to need to do some developing in the NFL. He is really damn good at this moment, but there's always a learning curve in the NFL, and on top of that, we'll see what new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron does, and how he can develop Caleb Williams. Shane Waldron comes from the Sean McVay Rams offense, where he helps develop Jared Goff, and then he went to Seattle, and he gets credit for Geno Smith's career resurgence. So he's had some success with different quarterbacks. So I like Shane Waldron. He's a huge upgrade over Luke Getsy. But what would I do? I would keep Justin Fields. I would use that number one pick. Someone is going to be desperate. Someone's going to be willing to give up a lot to go get Caleb Williams, whether it's the Commanders, Patriots, Giants, Falcons, who knows? You know what I mean? So someone's going to be willing to do that. If I'm the Bears, I would look to trade back to 3 or 4 and take Marvin Harrison Jr. I like the idea of bringing back Justin Fields with a much better offensive coordinator in Shane Waldron. You're keeping DJ Moore, and then you're bringing in Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that would give Fields a great opportunity. That to me is a better fit than what he would do in Atlanta. So I would keep Fields and build around him like that. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. and DJ Moore would be an incredible receiving 1-2 punch. I mean, I think that's damn near unstoppable. Um, so that's what I would do. And then also you've got pick number 9, and other picks where you can help build the offensive line, get, some pass rush help, maybe sign someone like Danielle Hunter. The Bears can, in my opinion, if they keep Fields and trade that pick, they can put themselves in position to contend for the NFC North in one offseason. I really do believe that. But I have zero faith in Bears GM Ryan Poles to do that. I think that he didn't draft Justin Fields, so he wants his own guy. And I think that he wants to go get Caleb Williams, uh, and try to build the Bears his way, in his mold. So that's what I think will happen is that they'll trade Fields and go get Caleb Williams. Um, and then we'll see what they'll do at number 9. If they go that route, then you're not getting Marvin Harrison Jr. Then I think you got to go get a wide receiver at number 9 to pair up with DJ Moore. So we'll get to that here in a second. But and another key aspect of this that I've been thinking about recently is it's been pretty well documented that Justin Fields doesn't get the calls. We've seen him, whether it's against the Browns, get hit late on that Hail Mary throw at the end of the Browns game, or against the Packers, where he slides and gets hit in the back of the helmet but doesn't get the call. For whatever reason, Justin Fields has not been getting those quarterback protection calls the way other star quarterbacks do. And I feel like Caleb Williams might immediately as a rookie get those superstar calls. You know what I mean? The NFL officiating seems to kind of pick and choose who they like and protect them like crazy more than other people. They love to protect Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, go back a couple years, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. So I think that maybe Caleb Williams will get those superstar protections more so than Justin Fields does. But um, you know, that's one beef that I have too is like where's the consistency, right? If it's an illegal hit on one quarterback, it should be an illegal hit on all the quarterbacks. But the NFL doesn't always officiate that way. So, we'll see. But if it were up to me, I'm a Justin Fields fan. I would keep Justin Fields, and I would love Marvin Harrison Jr. To me, he's a can't miss prospect more than any other player in this draft. Marvin Harrison is that guy where I pick him, and I've got no concerns about bust. He just seems like the guy. He's got a Hall of Fame dad. You know, but we'll get to him here in a few. Let's go to pick number two. So pick number one, Caleb Williams out of USC to the Chicago Bears. Let's go to pick number two, the Washington Commanders. A lot of people have Drake May going here out of North Carolina, but this is what I believe. I think the Commanders are looking for a splash move here to sell tickets and get a lot of hype in there with new ownership, new coaching staff, new regime in Washington. And after drafting Sam Howell in the fifth round in 2022 and him kind of turning out to be a bust and not the franchise quarterback they were hoping for, I feel like they're going to go Jayden Daniels here out of LSU, the reigning Heisman winner. He's 6'4", 210. He's got really high potential. I mean, I think he's close to Caleb Williams as far as potential. Just look at the stats. He combined for nearly 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions in 2023. He's a dual threat quarterback. He's got elite arm talent and underrated athleticism. He can run too. He's very similar to Caleb Williams. I think Caleb Williams is a slightly I think he's got more arm talent, Caleb Williams does, but Jayden Daniels, he can be successful in the NFL as well. He fits that modern quarterback mold. And if I were the Commanders, that's where I would go. I would go Jayden Daniels. He won the Heisman Award for a reason. He was great last year at LSU. And the Commanders have receivers. And so I would go Jayden Daniels if I'm the Commanders over Drake May. That's what I would do. So Jayden Daniels at 2 out of LSU to the Washington Commanders. All right, let's go pick number 3, the New England Patriots. Do the Patriots try to trade up to number 1 and get Caleb Williams? If I were the Patriots, I would, right? I don't want to settle for the third best quarterback. I want number 1. If I was the Patriots, I would seriously consider trading up for Caleb Williams. The Commanders too, trade up for Caleb Williams. Absolutely. But in this draft, I have the Patriots. I don't have any trades. So I have the Patriots staying at 3 and taking Drake May out of North Carolina, 6'4", 230. But to me, this is what I see when I evaluate Drake May. I watched a decent amount of him at college at North Carolina, and I see good, not great. They like to make the comparison between him and Josh Allen. I think he's a poor man's Josh Allen, a poor man's version. He's a dual threat quarterback as well. He's got a strong arm, good athleticism, but he also played poorly at times last year against some bad teams. Consistency is a question. He didn't have Martez Walker all season long, so that, played a factor in that. And then on top of that, the last couple North Carolina quarterbacks to come out did not translate well to the NFL. Sam Howell didn't work out. Mitch Trubisky didn't work out. So is Drake May another one of those guys, or is he Josh Allen? That's the big question here. Obviously, I think he's a big upgrade over Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, right? So if you're the Patriots, you take him here at 3. Uh, you know, but he will need to develop. I don't think he's quite NFL ready yet. All these rookies are going to have a learning curve in the NFL and have to figure their way out. We see that with Bryce Young last year, Will Levis, guys like that. But we'll see if the Patriots or the Commanders, fall in love with a Caleb Williams and try to trade up. But I think the first 3 picks in this draft this year are going to be all quarterbacks. That would make sense to me. I think they're all worthy of it. Um, and I think there is a bit of a gap. Drake May is deserving to be in that top tier of quarterbacks, but to me, he's third. Give me Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels over Drake May. So that's who I have the Patriots taking Drake May out of North Carolina, number 3 overall. That gets us to the fourth pick, the Arizona Cardinals. 3 quarterbacks off the board, and the Cardinals need a wide receiver. Um, and this is where I have them taking Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. In my opinion, the safest pick in the entire draft. 6'4", 205, the son of an NFL Hall of Famer, Marvin Harrison Sr., and his NFL comp is Larry Fitzgerald. Cardinal fans know him well. Larry Fitzgerald is famous for having more career tackles than career drops. The best hands, among the best hands ever in the NFL. Chris Carter, Jerry Rice territory. And Larry Fitzgerald, not much needs to be said there. Larry Fitzgerald is an absolute legend. And I think Marvin Harrison Jr. will be as well. Knock on wood, as long as he stays healthy, he's got the skills to be a generational, you know, all pro for over a decade, an all time great wide receiver. I see no weaknesses really when I watch Marvin Harrison Jr. He can do it all. And how wouldn't that be an instant huge upgrade for Kyler Murray? Imagine Kyler Murray throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. Harrison Jr., recorded 1,200 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns with C.J. Stroud in 2022. Stroud leaves for the NFL, and Marvin Harrison Jr. does it again. 1,200 yards receiving, 14 touchdowns with what was his name? The last Ohio State quarterback. I forget. I'm blanking on his name right now. But um, not C.J. Stroud, right? Uh, and so it just shows how good he is that he can get it done, regardless. Um, why am I blanking on Kyle McCord? That's what it was, Kyle McCord. I should have known that. So, to do it with CJ Stroud is one thing. To do that, put up those numbers with Kyle McCord, that's something else. And I think that Marvin Harrison Jr., like I said, can't miss prospect, home run pick. And the Cardinals will be very happy to team him up with Kyler Murray. So that's what I would do if I'm the Cardinals. And if I'm the Bears, trade back to 3 or 4, and the Bears take Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what I want. Selfishly, I would be all in on that. Give Justin Fields Marvin Harrison Jr. But in this draft, we have Marvin Harrison Jr. going to the Arizona Cardinals. So that takes us to pick number 5, the LA Chargers. The Jim Harbaugh era begins in LA with the Chargers. And this is where I have them taking tight end Brock Bowers out of Georgia, 6'4", 240. They're losing Gerald Everett to free agency. And it just seems like a Jim Harbaugh pick. He wants a football guy, a do-it-all tight end, Brock Bowers. Excellent value pick. Safety blanket option for star quarterback Justin Herbert. Herbert would love to have a guy like Brock Bowers. And he has no weaknesses. He can run block, pass block. He's got great hands. He's an unselfish star. He's everything you want in the NFL. He's that George Kittle mold, just a team guy, a winner. And we saw how valuable the tight end position can be just last year with the Lions and Sam Laporta, and how big of a role he played as a rookie for a team that went all the way to the NFC Championship game and almost to the Super Bowl. So I think that Jim Harbaugh is going to see the value in Brock Bowers, see him as a football guy. I think this is either Brock Bowers pick or it's like a Joe Alt pick. But We know what Jim Harbaugh wants to bring to the Chargers: tough, physical, old school football, and Brock Bowers, you know, exemplifies all those things. So I have him going 5 here, and tight end is a need for the Chargers. And why not give Justin Herbert another absolute weapon? So that's my pick there. Brock Bowers, number 5 to the LA Chargers. Pick 6 is an interesting one. The New York Giants. And if I'm the Giants, I definitely want a quarterback. Daniel Jones not only can't stay healthy, but is proven not to be a franchise quarterback. It's not working out. And so they need to upgrade that position. But in this draft, to me, he's available here, and it's a need. They need a wide receiver. I'm going Malik Neighbors out of LSU, pick 6 here for the Giants. And Malik Neighbors is someone that I've been keeping my eye on for a couple years now. He's my favorite wide receiver in this draft. Marvin Harrison is the best, but Malik Neighbors, it's not that far. Marvin Harrison is 1A. Malik Neighbors is 1B. Malik Neighbors is that Odell Beckham Jr., uh, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase mold. He's an absolute star in the making. Take Malik Neighbors. He's worthy of going top 5, in this draft. And I have him going 6 here to the Giants. Every season, I'm pretty good with these wide receiver picks. Every year I pick one that I really like. This year I've got 2. I was all over DK Metcalf, and he fell for some reason. I had him going top 15. Um, AJ Brown, right? George Pickens. I love these guys, and so um, Malik Neighbors is my next guy. George Pickens. We see these guys, all 3 of these guys, all these guys have the ability to make the difficult, impossible catch look routine, and looks so impressive and just huge splash plays. So Malik Neighbors is that mold. I love this pick. I love this prospect. And if you're the Giants and you have an opportunity to go get him, go get it. And get your quarterback later in the draft, second, third round, or go address the quarterback position in free agency or a trade. There's guys out there to get. And so we'll see. But that's who I have them taken here is Malik Neighbors. And yeah, he'll be an instant success, I think, as a rookie, immediate success in the NFL. Uh, game-changing playmaking weapon with elite potential. So that's why I have the Giants taken at 6. Pick number 7 to the Tennessee Titans. If he's still on the board, you're going tackle here. You're going Joe Alt, the best O lineman in the draft. 6'8", 320 monster of a man. His dad played in the NFL tackle at an elite level, was an all-pro. One of those Notre Dame stud offensive linemen that is probably going to be an all-pro for over a decade, right? I want the Bears to take Joe Alt. I would love for the Bears to get Marvin Harrison Jr. and Joe Alt. That's like our fantasy, our pipe dream. Is likely not gonna happen, but if you're the Titans and he's available at 7, you got to take him. Give Will Levis that protection, that blindside blocker that's going to be there forever, for his career and help make Will Levis get it done. So Joe Alt, pick number 7 to the Tennessee Titans. Let's go pick 8, the Atlanta Falcons. And so I was looking, and I didn't have edge being a big need. They had like wide receivers, so a lot of people are going Rome Odunze here. But if you look at it, they're losing. So their team leading sackers, both Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree, are both leaving, and they were the team leaders with 6.5 sacks. And I think the Falcons really do want to upgrade that position and get more production from their pass rush. Arnold Ebiketie is good, but he only had 6 sacks. He's good, but he's not, you want to add someone opposite him. So this is where, the best available pass rusher in the draft, Dallas Turner out of Alabama, 6'4", 240. He's an absolute monster. Not only is he going to hit the quarterback, but he's going to strip the ball out as well. And he'll bat passes down and just create chaos back there. That's something the Falcons desperately need. If the Falcons come out of this draft with a trade for Justin Fields and they draft Dallas Turner, man, Falcon fans are going to be feeling themselves. So Dallas Turner is a great option here at pick number 8, the best edge, the best pass rusher in the draft. Dallas Turner out of Bama, pick 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. Let's go pick 9 to the Chicago Bears. If they draft Caleb Williams, then they need to go get a wide receiver opposite DJ Moore. So this is where I have the Bears taking Rome Odunze out of Washington. He's not my favorite receiver in the draft. I like Brian Thomas Jr. I like Keon Coleman out of Florida State. But Rome Odunze is good. And, you put him along with DJ Moore, you can do a lot worse than that. He's a solid receiver. And you put them two along with Caleb Williams, that's pretty nice. And so the Bears, I can see him doing that. 6'3", 215. He's got some good size. He's tough to defend. Hard to tackle. And so that could be a route that the Bears go. That's where I have them going in this draft. But, I prefer keep Fields, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. And then maybe here you can go get a tackle or an edge. Maybe go get someone like Jared Verse, maybe get Ola Fashanu, someone like that here. Either way, the Bears need to kill this draft. This is a franchise-altering draft for the Bears. If they blow it, then it's going to set the franchise back for a decade plus, in my opinion. If they kill it, then the NFC North is pretty wide open at this point. The Bears can get right back into that mix pretty quickly. So it's a very important draft for the Bears, and these two picks at 1 and 9 are crucial for the future. So a lot of pressure on Ryan Poles, his legacy on the line upcoming in this draft. Pick number 10 for the Jets, I have them taking tackle Ola Fashanu out of Penn State, 6'6", 315. Desperate need to upgrade that tackle position and protect the franchise. Veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers coming off an Achilles injury. Got to protect him, keep him healthy. And with Mekhi Becton likely leaving, you got to go upgrade, get a solid tackle. So you go get Ola Fashanu. So that's definitely a need for the Jets is tackle and protect the quarterback. So that's my top 10. My 2024 NFL mock draft 1.0. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very interesting. Like I said, I'm planning on going to the combine this weekend for Saturday and Sunday. So probably Saturday night, we'll do an episode and talk about what we watched on Saturday, with the quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs. And then on Sunday, it'll be offensive line, and we'll talk about that next week. So a lot of great content coming up, a lot of great draft content. That's going to be a fun off season. We're just getting started. We're going to have Amanda back on the show next week. We're going to have Pablo on the show. Hugh Jackson is talking about wanting to come back on, the two-time NFL head coach. I'll be seeing, I might be seeing him at the combine. I'm going to go around, shake some hands with, the NFL media and scouts and GMs, whoever I can find, right? I can't wait to go to this combine and see all these guys. So, if you're gonna be there, hit me up. I'm on Twitter at Freakaleague1209. Follow the podcast, subscribe, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. NFL fans, gonna be a hell of an off season. The draft is gonna be fun. I plan on being at the draft as well in Detroit this year. And so follow along. It's going to be great content. We're going to do some rewatches. We're going to do these mock drafts, and we're going to keep you filled in all off season long about what these teams are doing, what they need to be doing, and to get better and take the next step in the 2024 season. So appreciate all the support, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Have a great week. Peace out.